a big shot unless we talking about hip-hop. Bad at TikTok, but I'll make movies like Hitchcock's. Challenge Mitch, you'll barely make it like trick shots. Check your wristwatch, it's time for you all to quit. Stop trying me. I'ma be honest, I'm pretty glad no labels eyeing me. I'm independent and I don't want nobody buying me.
Yo, what up everybody, this is Mr. O, and today we've got a brand new segment on the show. This is the first episode of this brand new segment that we're going to try, and the hint is in the shirt. Shout out to Black Panther, shout out to Marvel, technically shout out to Sony. I'm going to be reacting to a movie, and not reacting, but reviewing. This is something new I want to try. Multiple people, independent of each other, have told me to try this because I love tweeting about movies. I usually give a little tweet review of a movie. I love going to the movies. I go to the movies alone a lot. And I said, you know what, let me add that. I do music stuff, I do news type stuff in the Christian space, but I was like, Christians watch movies? I know they do because I'm a Christian and I watch tons of movies. So I said, you know what, let me try it out. If it goes well, we'll keep doing it. If it doesn't go well, we might workshop it. So bear with me. This is the first time I'm doing this. One of the new little surprises of having 5,000 subscribers is trying some new stuff. So I'm going to attempt to give my thoughts on Across the Spiderverse. I saw it about a week ago. And it's weird because the title of this is going to say like a Christian review. I'm not necessarily going to talk about it from the perspective of a Christian. If there's anything I think might kind of relate, maybe I'll talk about it. Or if there's anything like at the end of the reviews, I might be like, hey, if you're a Christian, you might not want to see this for certain reasons, or maybe you might want to see it for these reasons, you know. So like I said, we're gonna workshop it. Bear with me. I'm already rambling more than I probably will in the future once I've got this a little more perfected. But let's get right into it. Across the Spiderverse is the second in the what will be trilogy of basically Miles Morales' story. The first one, Into the Spider-Verse, came out 5 years ago. Isn't that crazy? 2018 feels like a long time ago. And I know this movie kept getting pushed back because I had it in my calendar. I kept having to move it back. Worth the 5-year wait. I'm not even going to lie to you. I went and saw it alone. I promise, guys, I have friends, but I like going to the movies alone. There's something about that experience that I think is really dope. You don't have to worry about anybody else but you. So I went alone. Theater was packed. Every single seat was packed. So much so that there were people, you know, when somebody reads their ticket wrong and somebody's like, that's my seat. No, is that your seat? There was a whole row of people that were in the wrong seat, had to up and move to the front. Every single seat was taken, right? So I was super excited. Like I said, it had been a 5-year wait. I love Miles Morales. And it was dope because you get to see Miles is a little bit older. He's super sad because he doesn't have any of his spider friends. He's just back at home doing school, which he's like, he misses his friends, right? He misses when you go through a huge adventure like you do in the first one and kind of save the multiverse in a way. And then you go back to having to go to school and having your parents yell at you, and you're just like, this isn't it. So I think it was dope seeing him sad. He misses Gwen a ton. And the movie ends up, of course, he gets reunited with Gwen, and he's super happy because it's like, Gwen's back. Oh my God, where you been? I know you couldn't see me, but now you can see me now. And I think it's dope because it goes from that into him almost probably kind of wishing that he had not run into Gwen, kind of wishing like you should have stayed away from me, because obviously these are going to be spoiler reviews. For those who can't tell, I'm about to spoil a bunch of stuff. But essentially, the movie really kind of comes to a head, kind of comes to a peak when Miles is told something about himself that he did not know that that everybody else knew. There's a whole organization of spider people. Everyone's trying to fix the Spiderverse, the multiverse, but the Spiderverse in particular. And he is what's known as an anomaly. He is a problem because the spider that bit him and turned him into a spider person, just like all the rest of them, his difference is that his spider was not from his universe. It was not from his timeline. And so it messed up everything, right? And he doesn't know this. He's hoping that he can be a part of this spider society. He's really probably the only person who's not, and it's because he shouldn't have ever been Spider-Man. And isn't that sad? Isn't that sad to think about? Your whole identity now is that you're this Spider-Man, you're a spider person, and there's all these other spider people too. Oh, but wait, everyone knows this but you. You're not supposed to be Spider-Man, you're actually a problem. You are actually one of the, like, you're what we look for. You're an outcast because you're a spider person, but you're not really. You're not supposed to be. You weren't supposed to be. Your story is not how it's supposed to go. And that's super emotional. Because imagine thinking, like, you get to see your friends, like Peter B. Parker and Gwen, and you want to be more than friends with Gwen. And then you realize that actually everybody knew something about you that you did not know. And on top of that, they go deep into what are known as canon events. And one of those for a lot of the Spider people is losing a police captain near you. And his dad was about to become a police captain. Imagine your friends, your close friends that you love, that you've been obsessed over for all this time, knew that your dad was about to die and like weren't gonna tell you, you know? And then when you find out, they try to stop you. I'm rambling, I apologize. But I really love this movie because I feel like instead of it being like a villain, the Spot obviously is the villain, but he's more so, I think, going to be in the next movie more the villain. The villain in this, I think, is more so, there's not really a villain. It's more so Miles, and you could say the villain is himself in a way. The villain is all the other spider people. The villain is kind of the spider that bit him that didn't belong in his universe. All of these things, I think, are kind of supposed to serve as the villain because there's not a real bad guy per se. It's more so Miles against what he doesn't know about himself and then what he's told about himself. And then, of course, at the end, he ends up back in the wrong universe, runs into the version of him that turns into the Prowler. And basically, to be continued, hopefully Gwen and the gang can kind of save him and fix everything. But I really felt like it was really well written. The emotional stakes were interesting. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who liked the first one better, which I'm not mad at. But one of his reasons is because there wasn't a death really. There wasn't anything to be super emotional about. That's what he said. But for me, I picture if I'm Miles and everything about me being the spider person is basically a lie, and like my closest friends know this, and like they're trying to stop me from my dad potentially dying, and then I think I'm gonna go save him, and I reveal myself to my mom, and she's like, who's Spider-Man? And then you realize I'm in the wrong unit. Like, all that is so emotional. I was like mouth wide open because I thought that was insane. Nobody had to die for it to be like really high emotional stakes. And the to be continued really makes me, it's supposed to be less than a year when it comes out, but I'd be willing to wait a few years just to see how it ends. Again, I think it was really well written. Animation was amazing. Just like the first Into the Spider-Verse was great animation. This animation was somehow like twice as good, twice as fire. The different types of Spider-Mans having their own type of animation style. All the jokes, like seeing the Lego Spider-Man, the throwback Spider-Man, seeing Spider-Punk with his certain frame rate difference and everything. I thought it was super dope. I know some people complained about the sound being kind of low, and honestly, it might have been. I couldn't really tell, other than when Spider-Punk was speaking, it was kind of low. I'm probably gonna re-see it. But overall, I think it was a really, really, really well put together film, worth the 5-year wait. I gave it a 10. I gave the first one a 10. They're both 10s to me. It's kind of a tie. For if you want to say one or the other is better, I'm not going to be mad at you. I'll probably rewatch them both soon. As a Christian, there really isn't. There's nothing. This is definitely a movie the whole family can see, I would say. I can't think of anything that would keep you from bringing your kid to see it. If you're a Christian, I can't think of anything that you'd be like, oh, this isn't good. There's a lot of good messaging in there, kind of about trying to find yourself and kind of doing the right thing, even if everyone's like, you're supposed to be doing this one thing. Miles is like, he literally has a line where he's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Because everybody else is like, no, you have to do this. You're wrong. It's gonna end up like this. And he's like, how do you know? You know, I think that's a great lesson to learn, specifically from a Christian perspective. You know, it doesn't matter if you're kind of taking the road less traveled. That's probably a good thing, you know. So, excellent film. If you like the first one, you definitely see the second one. If you haven't seen the first one, go watch the first one. If you're like, Mitch, what are you talking about? What is Spider-Man? Wake up, okay? Go watch all of the Spider-Man movies and then go see these. Definitely an excellent movie. I'm gonna go see it again. 10 out of 10. Shout out to Sony for taking care of Spider-Man. And there's going to be one more. It's supposed to be in March of next year, I think they said. I expect it to be later than that. They'll probably push it back. But excited to see what the Spot does spot, by the way. Super dope villain, because you think he's super awkward and weird and a villain of the week, and then he's showing like, nah, I'm not a villain of the week. I'm actually probably the scariest and most powerful villain you're gonna face, because I have total control of every verse, and I've turned black now instead of white, and I'm sorry, guy. I know this is not targeted at all, and I'm just kind of rambling, but this is probably going to be the style of them, because it's just going to feel like I'm having a conversation with a friend about this movie, because I can't think of a way that I could do it like by a script. Like, Into the Spiderverse yeah, I'm just not gonna. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be like this, very rambly. If you have any notes for me, let me know. But this was fun. It's only about 10 minutes. I could have gone for another 30 minutes, but the movie's really good. You should go see it. It's good for the whole family to see. Miles Morales is a dope Spider-Man, and he is Spider-Man in my book. So I appreciate y'all a ton. Let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know if there's any movies you want me to react to. I see a bunch of them, so I'll probably do more of these. I'll probably try to be a little more structured in the future, but this was fun. I like this. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. If you haven't seen it, let me know if you're gonna go see it. If you do, let me know if you like it. I appreciate y'all a ton. I truly do. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And shout out to Spider-Man. I appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Praise God. Praise.